man who has forgotten self may be said to have entered heaven. It was always the becoming he dreamed of, never the being. It's not whether you got knocked down, it's whether you get back up. In war, practice dissimulation and you will succeed. A path doesn't appear on its own. We've to make it, and we can make it. Only courageous hearts can endure the bitterness of truth. We cannot do everything at once, but we can do something at once. It's exhausting, the energy it takes to unknow a truth. In business, professionalism is not a tactic, but a moral value. If you want more, you have to require more from yourself. A wise general makes a point of foraging of the enemy. Peace cannot be kept by force. It can only be achieved by understanding. Having the life of your dreams is simple. Make conscious choices. Sometimes your circle decreases in size, but increases in value. There's no such thing in anyone's life as an unimportant day. I drink a cup of sunlight every morning to brighten myself. Small circle, private life, and peaceful mind. Loving yourself is required for authentic relationships. Look for the good in every person and every situation. You'll almost always find it. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. Serious thinkers are few, and the world is ruled by crude ideas. Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone. Anger dwells only in the bosom of fools. In the midst of darkness, he alone sees the dawn. In the midst of the soundless, he alone hears harmony. You must accept the truth from whatever source it comes. Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens. The good fighter is able to secure himself against defeat, but cannot make certain of defeating the enemy. Verily, God does not reward man for what he does, but for what he is. Half of seeming clever is keeping your mouth shut at the right times. But only he who, himself enlightened, is not afraid of shadows. Great knowledge is universal. Small knowledge is limited. Great words are inspiring. Small words are chatter. The older I grow, the more I distrust the familiar doctrine that age brings wisdom. Conformity to the present is invisibility to the future. As long as you can use your hands, the world is your oyster. You can measure the size of a person by what makes him or her angry. He who requires much from himself and little from others will keep himself from being the object of resentment. Monsters are real, and ghosts are real too. They live inside us, and sometimes they win. Music in the soul can be heard by the universe. Not knowing you can't do something is sometimes all it takes to do it. I'm going to try speaking some reckless words, and I want you to try to listen recklessly. Once friends as batchmates, but now different batches divide us. Secret operations are essential in war. Upon them, the army relies to make its every move. In the desire to control others, we lose control over ourselves. Your sacred space is where you can find yourself over and over again. Never get bitter. Life is a medley of good and bad ingredients. The essence of being human is that one does not seek perfection. You will never know how high you can climb until you reach the top. I'm just doing me, and to me, that's what got me this far. Remember that the happiest people are not those getting more, but those giving more. A common man marvels at uncommon things. A wise man marvels at the commonplace. The moon does not simply disappear when we are not looking at it. I never fail. It's just that the people around me succeed more than I. To be alone is to be different. To be different is to be alone. Never give up on what you really want to do. The person with big dreams is more powerful than the one with all the facts. Time is precious, but truth is more precious than time. Shoot for the moon. Even if you fail, you'll land among the stars. If you do not change direction, you may end up where you are heading. Verily, knowledge is a lock, and its key is the question. Karma is given, not to those who ask, but to those who ask of nothing. Always stand up for truth, regardless of who steps on it. All men can see these tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. To become a lifelong reader, one has to do a lot of varied and interesting reading. Better a diamond with a flaw than a pebble without. When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you. A battering ram can knock down a city wall, but it cannot stop a hole. Different things have different uses. The greatest step towards a life of simplicity is to learn to let go. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. The mind is its own place, and in itself can make a heaven of hell, a hell of heaven. Because people don't have wings, we look for ways to fly. I don't think you should wait. I think you should speak now. Stop doing what is easy or popular. Start doing what is right. The true vocation of man is to find his way for himself. If those who are sent to draw water begin by drinking themselves, the army is suffering from thirst. The worst part of being okay is that okay is far from happy. Some things in life are too complicated to explain in any language. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Bloom as if you want to make the whole world beautiful. You know, the minute you stop thinking about it, it'll happen. Tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. Truth is what your contemporaries let you get away with. A whetstone, though it cannot cut, may sharpen a knife that will. If you remember me, then I don't care if everyone else forgets. Discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. If we have no peace, it is because we have forgotten that we belong to each other. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. Remember, man does not live on bread alone. Sometimes he needs a little buttering up. Never give up. Things that you keep dreaming about will happen one day. Even the finest sword plunged into salt water will eventually rust. All the world is made of faith and trust and pixie dust. Don't worry about being effective. Just concentrate on being faithful to the truth. Be careful who you trust. Salt and sugar look the same. How people treat you is their karma. How you react is yours. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. If something is important, it deserves to be experienced deeply. To truly laugh, you must be able to take your pain and play with it. Don't tie your success to anything other than what's inside you. Desire is half of life. Indifference is half of death. Life is fragile. We're not guaranteed a tomorrow, so give it everything you've got. I admire those who do good and expect nothing in return.